I'll admit, when I first saw there was a new Steam Deck dropping, just a year after I got my first one, I was not immediately sold. Don't get me wrong, I wanted it, but did I want to drop another 500 bucks? Was it really that different? Ultimately, because this is my MO, of course I got it. I couldn't resist, I never can. After a month of using this thing, how do I feel about it? Do I regret it? Would I do it again? Should you do it? That's what we're talking about today. Because I know there's still a lot of people that are just not sold on what is essentially a PC upgrade with no actual improvements in performance in CPU and graphics power. I'm going to break this into a few categories: the screen, obviously, the quality of life improvements, and then of course the value. Was this a worthwhile investment for me? And is it a worthwhile investment for you if you're looking to buy one of these things? So the screen, it's a huge improvement, but you knew that, of course. I'll be honest, for whatever reason, honestly, it doesn't seem as shockingly different to me as when I picked up the Switch OLED, but the screen on the new deck is just as good as the new Switch. In fact, it's better, but maybe just because the Switch screen, the old LCD Switch screen, was just so underwhelming, it just felt like a bigger change. But side by side, it's incredible with the old deck, and having a bigger and brighter OLED really is a much needed upgrade. I always felt with the old deck, it was just kind of compromised because of that LCD screen. So this feels like what the deck, my favorite gaming device besides my gaming PC, was supposed to be like in the first place. But the screen has two other huge perks besides simply being OLED that arguably make an even bigger difference to the experience. The first is refresh rate boost at 90 Hertz. I made a whole video about this, I'll link in the description, but the Cliffs Notes are that it's awesome playing low-lift games at 90 FPS on a freaking handheld, and there are even some benefits to having a higher refresh rate for lower FPS games, which I went into in depth in that video, so check that out after you're done with this one. The second huge benefit of the screen is that it has lowered overall energy consumption on the whole device. Along with other tweaks Valve has made, this makes an enormous difference to battery life. Even if I could play a game at 60 FPS on the old deck, I wouldn't do it most of the time because it would eat the old battery to death. You'd be lucky to get an hour playing something like Arkham Knight at 60 FPS on the old deck. But now I have no problem playing games at 60 or even up to 90 FPS because honestly, the battery life improvements in my testing have been better than Valve promised. I myself, honestly, am seeing closer to double the battery life than the LCD model. The OLED screen has such a big impact on the upgrade that it might have been enough alone, but then Valve took the opportunity to just like jam-pack this thing with all sorts of little quality of life upgrades that were such a surprise, honestly. The trackpads are totally upgraded and now have full haptics built into them. The charging cable is longer and you get a nice little green light when it's charged to 100% and plugged into the outlet, so you know what's going on. The buttons are clickier, they're more responsive, they're more reliable, and the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection are much, much, much better. All of these things have made a big impact on my day-to-day gaming, from downloading games much faster to being able to use my Bluetooth headphones without constant disconnections. It's the little things. It's the little things. But is it worth a $500 upgrade? I've thought a lot about this, and here's what I've decided. When you put together all the little quality of life upgrades Valve has added, and then add on the OLED screen, and all the benefits of it, I actually, if given the choice in a hypothetical situation, would rather pay for this product than a Steam Deck without all those upgrades and a 20% faster GPU and CPU. Because at the end of the day, gaming on the deck is much, much more enjoyable now because of all these little improvements. Much more than I think it would be with something like a 20% performance gain or even a 30% performance gain. I don't think that you would feel that on a day-to-day basis, that difference, as much as you feel the difference in the OLED model that we have now with all the little improvements. Especially since it's the exact same price as the first model, it's a great value. And after a month using this thing, I can't recommend it enough. Have you been using it? Do you agree? What's your favorite new feature? Or are you disappointed? Let's chat about it in the comments. I really like to chat with folks in the comments about this stuff. I'm a nerd, just like you. And hey, as of right now, as of recording this video, I am a very tiny, just small, like ant-sized YouTube channel. And I know it's cliche, but hitting the like button on this video and subscribing really does help the channel grow and reach more people, and it really does mean a lot to me, to us. Okay, see you soon, and don't forget to have fun.